Hello viewers, me and team here, and welcome to a basic tutorial video on Genghis Khan 2. It occurred to me that despite the fact that I was going double speed to save time, it might make sense first to show you guys some of the basics about the game and how to play it. So I'm going to go right to that, and if this takes one or two videos, I'll still leave it at normal speed. Okay, first of all, when you begin a game, you have 4 areas to choose from. Well, 4 scenarios. First scenario, you can play here as Mongols, which is Temujin becomes Genghis Khan eventually. Jamuga, the Naimans, and Togorul Khan here. He's the guy I played in the Let's Play. And then the other scenarios all take place on the world map. So, once again, you can be the Mongols, you can be Japan, England, France, Arabia, really quite a number of choices. And then just depending on which map you're playing, it'll let you choose different leaders. And yeah, if you start out in this one, you already have a significant sized empire if you choose to play as the Mongols. Not that you have to. You can play as Italy if you want, and then you have to overcome these guys even with their starting advantage, which is easier than it sounds. And in this scenario, when you first get the game, it's locked. You won't see it. You won't be able to see this scenario until you beat the first one by 1214 AD. But as you can see, it's slightly different leaders. You get Richard instead of John in England. You get Frederick instead of trying to play as Philip in France. And then, yeah. So, a little bit of different options. Plus, Genghis Khan is younger in this scenario. But I'm just going to go with this map here for now to avoid confusion, and for the purposes of the demonstration, I'll just pick these guys. No debuting wars, no combat between units, is everything okay? Yes. Okay, now we have each turn consists of this basically, with all these options. I'll start with what each of the icons mean at the bottom of the screen. First one, top left, gold. Pretty obvious. You need that to pay your army, which is why I'm losing 100 gold per turn. And every 4 turns, which is basically a year because it goes by seasons, you get income in terms of gold. But that varies depending on a lot of factors, such as how many people you have, which is the bottom left value, how loyal they are to you, which is the bottom right value, and how good your economy is, which is the top right value, the money bag there. So you need gold to do a lot of things, to recruit troops, to pay for them, and to buy and sell to buy things in the market. And if you don't have enough, you won't be able to invade, you won't be able to pay your army. It sucks. Next is food. And that's pretty obvious. It's that bone with some meat on it, and you need that or you starve. If you don't take enough with you when you fight, your troops will starve, and if you don't have enough for your people in your territory, then your people starve and they have less loyalty towards you. And if their loyalty is low, they can revolt, which is usually easy to put down, but it still sucks because if you don't have food, you're not going to be able to attack anybody. So that's definitely something that you need to keep your eye on. The only other thing on this screen here is the pig's head there with the corn next to it, and that just represents agricultural development. And some territories are more arid and some areas are more wet. In the wet territories, you can farm, and it's kind of like gold where you get food every 4 turns, and it's usually more productive than herding. Whereas in drier territories, herding gives you a fixed amount every single turn, but it's not going to be as much for the amount of investment you put into it. But, in areas where agricultural development is not good, it's probably better. So, it just depends. Now, if you press R, you can see the other statistics, and The corn is how much you've invested into agriculture. Sheep is herding. The present is how much you're putting into like special goods that can be bought and sold in the market. The house icon is how much you're putting into construction, which is increasing population and economy. The castle icon represents defenses, but I really don't think that does too much in this game, so I wouldn't worry about it. The stuff along the right, starting from the top, the two guys holding their spears, that's how many troops you have in your territory. The icon below that, that's at 81, is arms, and last one is training. And all those values, well, you max out at 20 troops, and they can have 100 arms rating and 100 training rating. So there you go. Press R a couple times, go back to the main screen. So each of these things, well, I don't use policy a whole lot, but you can use that to create policies in a new state and allocate labor and tell them what the advisors to do or whatever. But I'm trying to get out of this, or not. Yeah, I'm just canceling, backing out of that. And then once they're set in a different state, you can use that to change them, or yeah, set up investments. I don't use that a whole lot. Domestic is the same thing, but for your territory, you can change where you're investing in each of the 4 categories. This is giving to people, which improves their loyalty, but you have to give them stuff. This is collect special taxes, where you get a special tax, but it drops their loyalty. So that's pretty easy. Orders. These are orders you issue to another territory. Pretty straightforward. Attack, move troops, and move supplies, and order them to pursue an alliance, I think. Oh yeah, diplomacy order. So you can also order them to threaten nearby states as well. Diplomacy is the same thing for your own site. It says demand surrender, demand tribute, and look for an alliance. I don't really like alliances in this game. Some people do, but the problem is once there's an alliance, you can't really opportunistically backstab somebody. And also, there's no way to win the game without conquering everything. So I don't like nerfing my options. Plus, if at least for me, it feels like I can always defend myself so easily, and what's the point? But I guess if you had somebody with good charisma and your starting army was trash, like maybe playing a hacked version of the game or something, and you have an unusual start, then you might pursue it using somebody with good charisma, assuming you have one. Person. Appoint governor vassal state, so I could choose the governor here. Appoint and dismiss an advisor. Those are people who can tell you what you should do when you get diplomacy requests, and if you don't feel like playing your turn, the advisor will play it for you. That's appointing and dismissing generals. If you have a son and he's at least 10, you can make your prince into a general. I do that in the Let's Play. Arrange marriage. Yeah, you have to have a daughter, and I also do that in the Let's Play. And then this is just spend time with family, and the more you do it, the more likely you are to get a son or daughter. It's not instant though, kind of like real life, which is unfortunate in the game, but probably a good thing in real life. This is market. Sell, buy, and the right one is mercenary troops. I also demonstrate this with a fair bit of